So welcome back, YouTube. Today I'm going to be explaining to you my full push day. That's what I'm about to go hit at the gym today. So I just want to break down the thought process behind why I choose certain exercises and why I think that they should be implemented into all of your push days. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First off, it's important to realize that, let's say your standard push day is a chest, shoulder, and tricep, and those are the only muscle groups you hit. Okay, so you gotta think first, what is my weakest point? That's how I approach all of my workouts. Is if I'm hitting a combination of different muscle groups, I'll say, okay, out of these three muscle groups, which one's the weakest? And the good thing is, from time to time, I switch up that order of exercise selection because I think sometimes I just grow a lot more in my shoulders or my triceps more specifically. And then sometimes I think, like, oh, my chest is more stubborn to grow. I need to prioritize it more. So let's say today I might start with shoulders actually, try to get them a bit wider. So what would that look like? I like starting off with a pressing movement or a fly movement because those are pretty isolated parts. So something like a cable side raise is something that I'll do in every single push day. Whenever I hit shoulders, I will always do a cable side raise. And let me see if I could just kind of show you guys here. So what that would look like essentially is if you're doing it at the cable thing, right? Imagine there's oh wait, I can't use my tripod actually, what am I thinking? Imagine the thing is here, right? And you pick it up and you're holding it like this. Literally all I do is bring my arm out and forward. Okay, so I'm gonna do like, this is what it looks like from the complete side, right? This is what it looks like from the front, right? And I can actually show you guys that with your shoulder, you can flex your shoulder. First off, this is something that people should get more in the mindset of, is actually squeezing the muscle, like, right? You can literally squeeze your shoulder with enough dedication and my muscle connection, but I like to engage my shoulder before I start by tensing it up kind of, and then I will come just directly out and in front. So it's not really a side movement. You can see this, some people will do their side raises like this, literally directly out to the side. That won't be as good for your side delts. That'll include a lot more of your rear delts, your upper back, your traps and stuff like that. So if you're completely sideways like this and you're going out and forward, you're going to get more of that side delt activation than if you were going out and backwards, right? So forward, not backwards, okay? So side raises are definitely a must-have in any day that you're going to be hitting shoulders, but that covers, and I believe there are three parts of the shoulder. There's the front part that usually gets worked out in a pressing movement or shoulder press. There is the side head that gets hit directly by side raises. And then there is the rear delt as well, which you can hit by doing rows or other things like that. But I'll tell you guys specifically what I do. Okay, so if we're going to start with shoulders, boom, side raise, 1 out of 3 exercises complete, right? I think a must-have is a flat press, is any type of pressing movement really. But if you want to hit your shoulders directly, I like doing shoulder press, like a seated shoulder press, seated dumbbell shoulder press, just whatever gives you more stability. And that's very simple because, again, with going directly up, right, this is the movement of a shoulder press, you can feel this front section directly being hit. You can completely feel it. It's really hard to kind of mess up a shoulder press because the movement is so simple. It is so simple, right? And you can have your elbows more tucked in. You can have them more flared out. Kind of just depends on what you're comfortable with while you're doing the actual exercise. But the point being is you have a pressing movement, you have a side raise movement. That's 2 out of the 3 heads hit, right? Front head, side head. And then for rear delts, usually I like doing like dumbbell rear delt flies, or I'll do it with the cable, especially. I think with the cable is amazing because either with a cable or a machine, when you can fully keep your arm out, this is the important part about hitting rear delts, is that if you're going to be doing a rear delt fly, your arms have to be completely straight out. There can't really be any elbow moving or elbow bending while you're doing the exercise, because you'll lose some tension in your rear delt. Okay, so a rear delt fly, a side raise, and a front press is all you need for your shoulders. Now, let's say next I want to hit chest. Okay, I like doing a pressing movement and a fly movement. And I think those are the two bare minimum, keyword bare minimum, exercises you should be doing. Can you do three? Yeah, of course. You want to do a press, a dip, and a fly? Go ahead. That sounds great. That's going to be great for hitting your chest. And sometimes when I'm trying to prioritize chest, I will do like two chest movements plus a fly, and maybe I'll skip out on a shoulder press. You know, you can substitute exercises depending on what's interchangeable. But with chest, I really like to keep it simple. Right now I'm doing more low volume than I ever have, so I like kind of keeping it to just two exercises when it comes to chest. Really, an incline barbell, a machine chest press, whatever you want to do, just getting that squeeze is really all you need. I think chest training is very simple. Even if you want to do bench press, go ahead, do bench press. Whatever is just doing a chest pressing movement. Then, of course, a fly movement is very different and essential in a chest training, because it's the one exercise where your triceps aren't involved, right? You're supposed to keep your arms like kind of as straight as possible, right? And just squeeze using your chest. There is no pressing, there is no other joints involved. So fly is a must have in your chest day. You can't skip chest flies on a chest day, right? So let's say we do one side raise, one press, one rear delt. That's already three exercises. We do one chest fly and we do one chest press. Now we're at five exercises, okay? Typically in a full day of training, I like to keep it to six, maybe even seven different exercises. Usually I stick around the 5 to 6 range on most days. And I really only do it when I'm having like a free day off where I have enough time to just train comfortably, not worry about time or be in a rush. So usually for triceps, and that's the last muscle group, right? In a push day, there's really only two exercises you need to do. There is a press down and there's an overhead extension. Super simple. And it is literally, there are only two parts to your tricep, okay, right? We have the medial head and then we have the lateral head, right? So think of it as like the front part and the back part of the tricep. And any tricep press down variation, whether it be like this, whether it be like this, whether it be like this, any press down variation is gonna be all you need to hit this part. And of course, we know that hitting chest, hitting pressing movements already indirectly hits this part of your tricep as well. So I almost always say triceps last in a push day, because they're already going to be so pre-exhausted by the time I get to them that usually I'll just do one exercise. I really never do press downs or stuff like that unless I want extra volume, because my triceps are already so fried by the end of a push day that I really don't need to do any more movements like this. But an overhead extension is super necessary, and especially for someone with long arms like me, you want to be able to have that hang. What's responsible for the tricep hang is actually the lateral part of the tricep. So any type of overhead movement, whether it be with a dumbbell, whether it be with a cable, single hand, any type of movement where your elbows are forced to be up and by the side of your head like this, is going to work that lateral head effectively. And that is the one exercise that I will never skip when I do hit triceps, you know. So most times I'll never do a press down, but most times at the end I will always do a overhead movement. And especially since my triceps are already pre-exhausted, I don't have to go that heavy with it, because again, the muscle can't even lift that heavy by the time I get to that exercise at the end, right? So to recap everything, what exercises are we going to do on our push day? Well, we're going to do any pressing movement. We're going to do a pec fly movement. We're going to do a side raise in a rare delt, and we're gonna do a overhead tricep extension. And again, like I said, guys, a lot of things are interchangeable. Doesn't matter whether it's a cable, dumbbell, barbell, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you're more comfortable with, whatever is easier for you to progressive overload, and whatever gives you more stability ultimately is gonna be the best choice for you. As long as, again, you can train intensely and slowly increase the weight over time, that's one of the main ways you grow. All right, so if you guys enjoy this video, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for all of the support we've been getting on TikTok. Share this, and I'll see you guys on the next one.